why are you sitting on top of the couch? Why do you think you're a little cat? You're not a little cat. You're a little dog. You are a little dog, ween dog. You're pretty good for a little girl. You're not too bad for a little girl. You gotta tell Shrimpy to get in line. She's gonna get in better shape. She's bad. She's the worst of all time. Hey everybody, it is me, your boy, Stu McAllister. With me, as always, are the dogs. Thank you for being here, dogs. It is Thursday, August 26th. Do you guys know what that means? It means the live podcast is 2 days away. Hopefully you guys can make it out to the live podcast Saturday the 28th. It starts at 7 o'clock. We're going to do the live podcast followed by a showing of the classic Tom Cruise movie Cocktail. Now I want to get you all the correct information here. The address in Lake Odessa is 4482 West Tupper Lake Road. Again, 4482 West Tupper, Tupper Lake Road, Lake Odessa, Michigan. It is the palatial estates of one Mr. Mike Pellerito. So hopefully you guys can make it out. Mike, god damn, Mike is fucking pulling out all the stops. He got a porta potty for everybody. He has some food, and he gave me inventory for the food that he has. This is what he has. Oh, the neighbors are screaming. It just sounds like they're screaming because of the rain. 32 burgers, 32 hot dogs, beef hot dogs, not that pork bullshit, as he says. Tons of chips, 30 yogurts, a shitload of string cheese, potato salad. There's one veggie burger that has my name on it. Bottled water and some ice cream too. Holy shit. I don't know why Mike has so much food. Maybe he's a goddamn prepper. Maybe Mike is a prepper and he's waiting for Doomsday to happen. He's like, well, Doomsday's probably not happening until September, so we can afford to give out some of this food before we have to sequester in the bunker. So he's going to have a lot of food. If none of that food sounds good to you, bring your own. He's got a grill, apparently. You can grill up some of your own food. Bring your own booze. Mike doesn't have booze for you. Bring your own booze. Have some drinks. Bring your Coors Banquet. Graham Van Bach will be there. He'll want some of your Coors Banquet. I also will want some of your Coors Banquet. So please bring it. Come have a good time. There'll be some giveaways. Some weird shit. It's always weird shit. I got free stickers and magnets and buttons that you can take if you want. And that's about it. If you guys have any questions that you want to send to us too, Jamie will be returning. So Jamie Graham and myself, if you have any kind of questions, feel free to ask. If not, no big whoop. I can talk for a fucking hour. Definitely with Jamie and Graham, we can talk for that long as well. Then when we're done talking, we might take a little breather and we're going to look to show the movie Cocktail afterwards. So, I don't know how long that movie is, like 2 hours. So the whole shebang should be done between 10 and 11 o'clock. That would be my guess. And you don't have to stay for Cocktail if you don't want. I would encourage you to stay because we're going to talk about the reason why I got all this Cocktail merchandise and paraphernalia. That's a funny story. That's a funny story, Stu. You should tell it on the podcast. All right, I think I fucking will. Damn. Damn, other me. Take it easy. All right, I will. Fuck. Today I gave away more vouchers to West Michigan Whitecaps on my fan page. It's a good reason to follow me. I've been doing Win It Wednesdays again every Wednesday for the last 3 weeks at least. I don't know if I'll do any more, but it's been fun. I gave away 15 tickets today, so that's good. Hopefully people will go and have fun. It's always a good time at the Whitecaps. So there you go. Work was uneventful for me. It was uneventful. Not a whole lot going on other than my frustration with my coworkers. Always my coworkers. Always my coworkers. Either doing something they shouldn't do or not doing something they should do. And yesterday, it was both the young fucks just not stopping at places they should have stopped at. And in some weird way, I suppose I should thank them because it gives me things to do. I have to clean up their fucking messes. But it's just unreal. It's unreal. I don't know what's going on in their brain. And then yesterday when I left, my boss was stealing my van. For those who don't know, I drive Dippin' Dots for a living. I drive all over the state of Michigan delivering Dippin' Dot ice cream to stores, bars, schools, etc. Any place that wants to sell it, we will sell it to them so they can sell it to the public. There we go. You're caught up. I got my own personal van a couple months ago. How about that, everybody? Moving up in the world. Stu gets his own van. My boss wanted to borrow my van because he was going up to the Upper Peninsula and he just wanted to leave work, and I was the first person back. And I was like, all right, man, I don't give a shit. Take my fucking van. One of the young fucks wasn't working today, so I was using his van. So I told my boss, I said, hey, man, can you let him know to take out the 2 small freezers he has in his van and put in the other 2 small freezers that are full of the bulk product that I'm going to need to take to the zoo in Lansing tomorrow, which would be today. So I get in this morning, and I sure as fuck, if I was a betting man, I would have said he didn't fucking do it. He didn't fucking do it. The reason I wanted him to do it is because I'm testing his goddamn ability to participate in teamwork. Because his teamwork abilities are shit. That is shit. SHIIIIIITTT. Shit. And so when I pulled in and I got into the warehouse, I was the only one there because my boss was headed up to the UP. Sure as fuck they weren't put in there. I was like, goddamn motherfucker. It would have taken him 10 minutes. That's it. Not a huge deal. Again, it's what are you going to do for teamwork? Apparently nothing. This guy's going to do fucking nothing. So I got to do it. I don't have a problem doing it. I take his 2 out easy peasy. I get mine and I go to put the first one in, and bulk just weighs a shit ton. So when a freezer's full of bulk, it's heavy as a motherfucker. And I'm getting it up the ramp, and it gets to the top of the ramp, and it decides it's going to come off the cart. We screw in carts to these freezers to make them easy to move around for the customers and for us. And it comes off the goddamn cart. And this thing is heavy as fuck. So I'm not going to lie, I'm struggling. But I did it. I got it. Pain in the fucking ass. I get the second one up. I'm good to go. I get out. And so I text my boss. I was like, hey, man. If you texted young fuck to put in the freezers for me, he absolutely did not fucking do it. What a bitch. Although I don't think I quite worded it that way. I think I said, what a fuck. This is how I text with my boss. He texts me back, oh, I never asked him to do it. And so I'm like, oh, well, what the fuck, boss? Why didn't you do it? Why wouldn't you have done it? I do all sorts of shit for the young fuck. This is one simple thing that you can have him do. My boss will tell you that he is a huge asshole. And that is so incorrect. He is the opposite of an asshole. He allows these young fucks to kind of rule the roost. And I would just fucking... Man, if I was in charge, I would have fired these guys a long time ago. They prove all the fucking time that they aren't doing what they should be doing. Just unfucking real. Unfucking real. Unfucking real. Unfucking real. So the work itself today was fine. I went to the zoo, fine. Went to a state park, fine. I had to go to this place. I had to go to a fucking children's museum in Albion, Michigan. And it is exactly what you think it is. It's shit. It's just toys that this guy probably picked up at a fucking thrift store. And he has them in this. I mean, it's for like young kids. Like I'd never been there before. And it is really odd. And so I sold some to him. I go to the Kalamazoo Country Club. I sell some there. I'm just trying to get rid of shit in the freezer because the young fuck doesn't take care of his freezers correctly. It has like over an inch, probably close to 2 inches of frost everywhere. So I'm just looking to get rid of all the product. So then I can fucking just get rid of the frost. I can fucking chip it off, use the rubber hammer we got there, bang it off. And then we got a shovel that I just used to fucking scoop everything out. I scooped out like 5-6 scoops of fucking, essentially it's snow. It's just snow, everybody. And when you have a freezer and you're trying to cram in as much shit as you can, space is essential. Every little bit of space is essential. So this fuck, his van is filthy as shit too. I told my boss, I was like, tell this fucker to clean his van. It's gross. It's fucking gross. He used to have me clean it. When that fuck would have off, he'd have me clean it. I just did it because I needed the hours. But now that I have my own fucking van that I take care of, fuck that guy. Fuck his van. Fuck that motherfucker. Do you guys hate it when you seemingly somehow get responsible for your coworker's shit? That you have to clean, like you got to clean your coworker's cubicle or some shit like that? You don't fucking do it. And I always viewed the vans back when we had less vans. I looked at it as these vans are communal. That's not your van. It's whoever's van. But the two young bucks claimed vans. They called the vans their own. But then they never took care of them. Like I said, they never washed them, oil changed, cleaned the inside. None of that shit. And who's responsible for that? The boss. The boss should be, hey, fuckface, clean your fucking van, you motherfucker. And that's exactly how I'd want him to talk to him. Again, there's just this irrational fear that we're going to be fucked if they fire these guys. I'm like, no, fuck. Like a month from now, we're back into the slower season where it's pretty much we were relying on schools. And I'm going to tell you right now, everybody, I think schools are a lot of, they're gun shy about shit. That there will be another shutdown. That there'll be, another coming of the pandemic. I mean, I can't even say another coming. It's like we've never left the pandemic. It's just kind of ebbs and flows. They're going to go back to zoom, and a boom, boom. But so it's going to be slow. Fire these fucks. I'm telling you, we'll be able to find someone. Or I have this weird thought in my brain of just make the job like a legitimate job. Don't make it this fucking like part-time pansy bullshit stuff. Make it a fucking full-time job. And real pay, real benefits, 40 hours, all the fucking time, year-round. And have a fucking person who's treating the job like a fucking job. Not like it's a fucking hobby or some shit. I can't tell you the last time either of the young fucks worked a full fucking 5-day week. That's during the summer when we're fucking straight destroying. I mean, there was a period of time, like almost 3 weeks, where I worked every single fucking day. Every single fucking day. Some days might not have been longer than others, but fuck, every single fucking day, putting some hours in. Because shit needed to get done. So, the old man at work is gone. He had knee surgery. I think he had knee surgery yesterday. So he's out like 6 to 8 weeks. And my boss is wanting me to kind of take over some of the routes that he would do. So one of the routes is up there in the UP. You know me, how I hate the fucking UP, but I got to go up to the goddamn UP. And it's a 2-day route. It's not a 2-day route, everybody. It's a 1-day route. But one of the days that I'm supposed to do, he wants me to do a Thursday, Friday, and I just realized, oh, fuck, I'm going to goddamn Detroit on Thursday night. There's some wrestling event in Detroit on Thursday. GCW, I think it's the promotion. Game-changing wrestling or something. Apparently, it's the new incarnation of Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW. I don't know. So I bought a ticket. I'm going to go. So I told my boss, I said, hey, man, can I do the route on Wednesday and not Thursday? Because I got to be in Detroit. He didn't get back to me yet. But guess what? If the young fucks roll over him, guess who else is rolling over him? This fucking guy right here. We'll see what the fuck happens. We will see what... I mean, it's raining here, and there's been some thunder, and the dogs get a little loosey-goosey. They get a little fucking needy. They get a little nervous. They don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't blame them. So yesterday, I discovered this, talked about it on the Patreon yesterday. I discovered that there is an AFC home across the street from me. And you're like, Stu, what is that? What is an AFC home? Is that like a KFC, but a little different? Instead of Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's Alabama Fried Chicken? No. Although that sounds like that might be delicious. I do enjoy some Kentucky Fried Chicken, so I would be curious as to what Alabama Fried Chicken would be. It is not that. AFC stands for Adult Foster Care. And I discovered it. I knew it was because of the cast of characters that were living in this house. People who live in AFC homes are just, through no fault of their own, usually very interesting looking human beings. It's just like the fucking the freak show at a carnival, right? It's just an odd assortment of looking people. It's just how it is. They go to the grocery store, a lot of women scream, children point, people faint. It's that kind of shit. You know what I'm talking about? You guys know what I'm talking about. And so I took a picture of the house number and the guy sitting on the stoops, and I sent it to Jamie. And I was like, Jamie, I'm 100% sure that there's an AFC home across the street. And Jamie has some good sleuthing skills, and she was able to figure out that, yep, 100% is it an AFC home. They got their license back in March, so it hasn't been there too long. And so there you go. And it's not, for me, everybody, it is not a big deal. I could care less. I have said, as long as my neighbors are quiet and keep their lawn up. How much of an old man have I become with that statement? You're quiet and you keep your lawn up. And by keeping your lawn up, I mean just mow it. You don't need to have a fucking garden or anything like that. Just make it so that your lawn doesn't look like fucking there's a crack house there, right? That's all I'm saying. And these people, they've been quiet and their lawn's fine. So I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. I don't give a fuck. But today, when I got home, the one guy he's incredibly large. He's a very, very large man. And he's sitting out there on the stoop, and he uses one of those chair walker things to get around. And so he's just kind of sitting on it. And I see him, and I pull into my driveway when I get home from work. And he starts yelling at me. He's like, "Hey, man." He kind of sounds like me. "Hey, man, is that buffalo flag that you got, does that represent the Buffalo Bills?" And I was like, fuck yeah, this guy knows what's up. And I was like, yes, it sure does. And it's like, that's what I thought. And I was like, are you a Buffalo Bills fan? And he said, I used to be. We're like, you motherfucker. He's like, I root for the Steelers, Detroit, and Denver. I'm like, that's a strange assortment of teams, but whatever. And he's, oh, hi, Sadie Dog. Sadie Dog just plopped right on top of me. You okay, Sadie Dog? Sadie Dog is the plopper. She normally doesn't plop on you like this, though, but it's the lightning and the thunder coming. But he said, I liked the Bills back when Jim Kelly was the quarterback. I was like, I know, dude. That's when I became like a huge fan of the Bills, too. I mean, I've been a fan since I was a little kid. I can never remember not being a fan of the Bills. But now I've set up a little conversation that I can have with this dude. And I like that. Fuck, I don't have a conversation with any of my other neighbors. How weird is it that I now have a friendly, neighborly conversation with the guys who live in the AFC home? That sounds about 100% correct for me. Of course, I'm making friends with the people who live in the AC. Oh, I can't forget. I also am friends with the crazy cat lady down the street, the one who owns fucking Stubby. I'm friends with her too now. We talk when we see each other. So I'm friends with the weirdos on the street. Jesus Christ. That is my life. My life is nothing but making friends with weirdos. And if you're a friend of mine, don't take it personally. I'm a fucking weirdo. It's just, I never set out to be a weirdo. I was never the cool kid. Were any of you guys the cool kids? Like, I was kind of a cool kid through elementary school. Like, I was smart. I was one of the smarter kids. And decent enough at athletics. I was all right. But then once middle school hit, fuck me, man. Puberty and everything. I don't know if puberty destroyed me or what, but I instantly lost all the clout. All the cool kids who at one time talked to me stopped talking to me. And it was very, very strange and very awkward. And there are huge portions of my life that I just don't remember what the fuck happened. Junior high, that's a prime example. I don't remember anything really of junior high, and I don't remember who I talked to or what I did or anything. It was very strange. But anyway, go make friends with your weirdo neighbors. They're the ones that you're probably going to have more in common with than anybody else. Stop trying to impress others. I think that's part of the reason why I've been thinking about it. Part of the reason why I don't really give a fuck about getting on stage anymore. Because I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the crowd anymore. I don't fucking going to small podunk towns and performing in front of podunk people and whatever. It's weird. Like today I saw, apparently there's a new comedy club opening in Traverse City. And I think it starts in a week or two or whatever. You know, good for them. And a buddy of mine is going to be performing up there. And I was like, hey, man, because I was just curious as to who was booking the room. I didn't know if they booked themselves or if they used the local booking agency or what. So I was like, hey, man, how'd you get booked in the room? And he told me he's featuring for a guy. The guy's bringing him along. So he said, he's like, I don't even really know. So if he doesn't really know, then to me, it's telling me that the club is booking themselves. But then I'm just thinking to myself, it's a two night, I guess it's a Friday, Saturday room. In Traverse City, for those who don't know, just isn't big enough for a 2-night weekly comedy show. I'll say it fucking outright right now. It just isn't. It just isn't going to be able to support it. You're not going to be able to pay comics enough. There's only so many Michigan guys that you can use before you got to be like, oh, fuck, I got to use this, this, and this. And then they're like, all right, are you giving them hotel rooms or what else are you doing? And like, do I want to fucking bother with that shit? Do I want to fucking bother with fucking people up in Traverse City? And the answer ultimately became, no, I don't. I'd rather just fucking do this dumb podcast, right? Do some occasional acting. Fuck. It's weird. 16 years of my life of doing that shit. And I finally came to the conclusion of like, I don't give a fuck. Like even the clubs out fucking Detroit side, like the Mark Ridley's and Royal Oak and fucking the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about any of those rooms. There aren't any rooms that I think about like, fuck, I really wish I could still play there. Weird. I guess it took the pandemic to get me to sit down and reevaluate everything and stop fucking trying to hustle for garbage. For me, that's what it is. If you're a comic and you're listening to it and that's what you want to do, fucking go get it. But for me right now, it's fucking garbage. Straight fucking trash. No interest. And that's all right. That's okay. That's all right. That's okay. Yeah, that's all right. You know what isn't all right? Sexual assault. That is not okay, everybody. And I'm not talking about Andrew Cuomo. I'm not talking about anyone big doing dumb fucking things. Jesus Christ. So many fucking dick fuckers out there whipping their cock out for whoever. Keep it in your pants, fellas. Establish a relationship with a woman, and then she'll be like, yeah, whip your cock out. Let's do this. But establish a relationship. God damn. I bring it up because apparently yesterday, Wednesday, 3:30 in the afternoon, a woman was sexually assaulted. Awful. All awful so far. But it happened on the Reeds Lake Trail. Police say a 21-year-old woman is running through the wooded trail area below Hodenpile Rock, just north of the Department of Public Works garage when she was attacked. The woman described the suspect as a white man around 25 to 30, standing more than 6 feet tall. He was wearing a green t-shirt and black disposable mask. If anyone has any information, call the East Grand Rapids Public Safety Department. All awful. I'm not... All right, this is where you're going to go. Stu, you fuck. Don't fucking say it. Don't fucking say it, Stu. Keep it in your mouth. But I can't. I've struggled with this. Because I've run that trail many, many times. When I was running and a marathoner and triathlete, when I was doing all that stuff, I often would run around Reeds Lake. I would run from my house and I'd run around Reeds Lake and I'd come back, and that was a 9-mile run for me. And so if I wanted to add to the miles of it, I would run around the lake more than once or whatever, take some other backside roads and to increase it or whatever. So I know that area very, very well. It's a very residential area. It's a lot of people around. There's a lot of traffic. The trails are all right by the road. So unless this little bit of trail is something new that I'm unaware of, I just find it very odd, very baffling that Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. there's always people on that fucking trail all parts of the day. I'm not saying it didn't happen. It's hard for me to wrap my brain around. It makes me think that this dude, it wasn't random, that this dude knew her. This is a story that I wish it'll just evaporate into the ether like so many news stories do. But I wish there would be follow-ups to it, because either it's going to be, it was someone she knew, or it's going to be, for whatever reason, this chick made some shit up. And that happens. I don't want to say it happens frequently. I'm not saying that, but it happens. There's been several stories around this area that for whatever reason, a woman made up the story. I don't know why. You never know that reason either. They never tell you why the woman made it. They just tell you the woman made up the story. They don't tell you why. And that's why I get frustrated with news articles and news stations and news outlets or whatever. I always feel like you're leaving a lot of information out. The who, what, when, where, why, and how. You forgot 2 or 3 of those fuckers. You just gave me the what and the where and maybe when, but you never tell me the why or the how or the who. The Who. Not only was The Who a decent rock band, they're also an answer to so many fucking crime stories. I want to know The Who. Not Roger Daltrey or Peter Townsend or who the fuck was their drummer? Moon? Something Moon? Was it Ralph Moon? No. Solai Fry Moon? No, that was Punky Brewster. Warren Moon? No, that was the quarterback of the Houston Oilers. Yeah, I don't know. No more Moons. So just weird, but it makes me mad too that some shit like this happened in East Grand Rapids. East Grand Rapids is a very fancy, swanky part of town. I mean, it's technically not Grand Rapids. It is East Grand Rapids. It's not the east part of Grand Rapids. It's East Grand Rapids. And that's where the ritzy Ritz fucks live. If you got money, you live in East Grand Rapids. So it's just, so I mean, that tells you shit can happen anywhere. It just makes me mad. Makes me fucking mad, Sadie Dog. Sadie Dog, we should go for a walk over there, and then you can go bite some people. What do you think of that? You give them the old sniff test, and if it looks like maybe they fucking sexually assaulted someone, I'll fucking give you the nod, and then you can bite them. That's the signal, the nod. What do you think of that, Sadie? You down? Sadie's fucking down. She's an old lady. She'll fucking bite a motherfucker. She'll bite a motherfucker, that's what she'll do. She'll bite him in the balls, she'll do that too. She'll bite him in the knee till he fucking bleeds, cause that's what we all fucking need. You gotta kick an asshole in the throat. You gotta kick him till he fucking chokes on his fucking teeth. And real running blood, you do it till you're fucking done. None of that really rhymed. There was a man. Hey man. There was a man down in Texas who was at a school board meeting, and this guy said enough is enough. His name was James Akers, and he was speaking at, God damn, the name of the school district is so dumb. Dripping. You don't want your town or anything to be named Dripping. Dripping Springs Independent School District, which is down near Austin, apparently. Austin is the blue dot in a red fucking sea. But good old James went up before the board and he said, hey, I've lived here 15 years. I've put like 3 kids through your school district. I got 1 kid still in high school right now. And he's like, I got to tell some motherfuckers what's what. And this is what I'm going to tell you. And then I was getting nervous because it always seems like when people walk to the podium, they walk to the mic and they're all like, I got to tell you what's what. You're like, oh, God, you're going to speak fucking gibberish, or you're going to speak about flat earth or the Holocaust was a hoax. You're going to say some dumb shit, right? It's always that way. Nobody walks to the podium and says something smart. Everybody who walks to the podium is a dumb motherfucker, right, Sadie Dog? I'm going to give you the nod, Sadie Dog. We're going to go to a school board meeting, and I'm going to give you the nod, Sadie. You got free reign, Sadie, when I give you the nod. But anyway, good old Mr. Akers says, I'm here to say that I do not like government or any other entity, just ask my wife, telling me what to do. So already I'm like, fuck, this guy's a fucking asshole. But then he continues, but sometimes I've got to push the envelope a little bit. And I've just decided that I'm not just going to talk about it, but I'm going to walk the walk. I'm like, okay, I don't know where this fucker is going. I'm very clueless right now. At work, they make me wear this jacket. I hate it. And you can't see it. I don't have a video of it. But he's taking off his clothes as he's saying this. They make me wear the shirt and tie. I hate it. He also joked that he ran 3 stop signs and 4 red lights and parked in a designated handicap space. I almost killed somebody out there, but by God, it's my road too. So I have every right to drive as fast as I want to, make the turns that I want to. And then he took off his pants and show my junk when I want to. So the whole point that he was saying is sometimes we do shit that we don't want to do. He goes, it's simple protocol, people. We follow certain rules for a very good reason. He says, there are too many voices out there that I think are digging in for political reasons and absolutely just not thinking about the common sense decisions. And he was speaking about the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, who issued an executive order last month blocking government entities, including school districts, county government, and more from requiring any person to wear a face covering or to mandate that another person wear a face covering. The state's currently facing legal battles from school districts seeking to mandate face coverings because, it's probably a good fucking idea, everybody. In this pandemic, in this health scare, we can do the minimum amount of making sure our kids are safe, making sure that our parents are safe, the elderly are safe, that everybody's doing okay. And I get everybody. Masks don't always work. Vaccines don't always work. So does that mean we stop using seatbelts? Because seatbelts don't always protect everybody. People die wearing seatbelts when they get in car accidents. Do we stop wearing condoms? People still get pregnant wearing condoms. People still get STDs wearing condoms. Do we stop wearing those? It's the reduction of. There's nothing out there that's 100%. Find me a fucking cleaner out there that kills 100% of the germs. It's always 99.4% or whatever the fuck it is. It's not 100%. Nothing out there is ever 100%. So does that mean that we don't do it? No. So go fuck yourself. Fuck you and your mom if you don't wear a mask. Fuck you and your mom if you don't get vaccinated. I really don't understand any of it. So this fucking guy, Mr. Akers, used a very clever way, maybe even just physically showing people, like this is the reason why we should do these very simple things. Does it suck? Yes. But sometimes we do it because that is the correct thing to do. You know what else is the correct thing to do? Listen to another episode podcast. Every Wednesday, Matt Harper and Mandy Lane drop new episodes absolutely free. They talk about movies that shaped their childhood. So these are old movies. These are movies that you've probably seen, you've at least heard of. Although I can't lie, everybody, this last one that they put out was a Matthew Perry movie. And I loved Matthew Perry from Friends, but I ain't gonna lie, I can't fucking remember, or I would be unable to name you 3 Matthew Perry movies. I couldn't do it. His movie career was a shit. But they released one about his movie career, and it was Fools Rush In. No fucking clue. No idea. But go listen to their podcast, and you can follow along on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we all know Matthew Perry's had his issues with mental illness and substance abuse and things of that nature. And he was probably my favorite on Friends. He was my favorite character. I always like the dudes who are a little sarcastic, a little smarmy. They got quick quips. Those guys are my favorite, right? Another guy who was very similar to Matthew Perry, Chandler, was Nicholas Brendan. He played Xander on the television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Now, I loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer more than Friends. I'll say it out loud. I'll say it to your fucking face. I loved it more. And for those who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a television show about a teenage girl who fought vampires. She was the chosen one. And then it was her gang of friends, affectionately known as the Scooby Gang, who helped her defeat vampires and demons and whatever else. Was it a weird show? Absolutely. But I fucking loved it. But Nicholas Brendan played her friend Xander. And the reason I bring him up is because yesterday, he was down in that shithole state, Indiana. God knows why the fuck he was down there. But he got arrested, and all sorts of badness, everybody. He had drugs on him, fake prescription. He had all of this shit, and so he got busted down there. Apparently he's got a twin brother, and at first he was trying to claim he was his twin brother. All sorts of fucking bad nonsense. They found, I think, meth and other shit, and it's very bad. He's had his struggles with mental health issues and substance abuse issues over the years. So maybe it's that type of character. Maybe it's if you play the smarmy character, the guy who's got the sarcastic wit, you're doomed. You're doomed. Because it's just awful. He never really did anything other than Buffy. Nothing that I'm aware of. Maybe he was in and out of some other shows. I don't really fucking know, but it just sucks. It just sucks when you see guys that you enjoyed what they did, but I mean, ultimately, he's not the character. I love the character. He very well and probably was a huge cocksucker. It's just unfortunate. You know what's not unfortunate? The Sunday Slaw. That's Adam House. Actually, that's Stephanie House and her husband Adam. They eat coleslaw, and they talk about coleslaw. They do Facebook Lives of themselves doing all of this stuff, and they give you the yay or the nay. So if you like coleslaw, go check out the Sunday Slaw on Facebook. Hit the like button and follow along. Adam actually was one of the winners of the tickets, the baseball tickets that I gave away today. So kudos to Adam. And then what do we got? We got John Midgley, my boy John Midgley. He's a magician. Very talented individual. He's a good artist. Does a bunch of other stuff. It's amazing. But he's got a page for his magic stuff. Magic JBM. John Big Dick Midgley. So go follow along. And when I say magic, I'm talking like Harry Houdini stuff. Not like the fucking D&D card game stuff. I'm talking the real shit. So go follow along and hit the like button on Magic JBM. And then last but not least, we got the Whole Thing Donut Shop down in Forney, Texas. It's a suburb of Dallas. I don't know if fucking that dude, Mr. Akers, will ever make it over there. But hell, hey, Whole Thing Donut Shop, if fucking Mr. Akers, James Akers comes in and identifies himself, if he starts taking his clothes off, give that man a free fucking donut. But anyway, Whole Thing Donut Shop is a gourmet donut shop. Way better than Dunkin' Donuts, way better than Krispy Kreme, way better than fucking Timmy Hortons. It hurts my heart to say it, but I need to say it. So go like their page on Facebook, the Whole Thing Donut Shop, Forney, Texas, and go visit them if you do ever get down to Dallas. So there we go, everybody. I appreciate you guys listening. If you guys like this bullshit, you'll probably like the Patreon. Patreon's pretty much every other day. Just $5 a month. So go to patreon.com, search out Elemental Podcast, and give me $5. That's one less ice mocha in your life. I can use the $5 more than Starbucks can. Trust me, 100%. Make it out to the live podcast this Saturday. Again, 4482 West Tupper Lake in Lake Odessa, Michigan. Come on out, 7 o'clock start time, doing the podcast. Graham will be there, Jamie will be there, and then we're going to show the movie Cocktail, so it'll be great. So come do all that shit, and you can maybe win some shit, and you definitely can take some free shit. So that's it, everybody. You guys were great. I will be back tomorrow for the Patreon, and if nothing else, maybe I'll see you Saturday, or if none of that happens, I'll be back Monday for the freebie. We'll see you later, guys. Have a good one. Take care.